Hi, this is Bret from Live Better, and today we're going to go over a nice lower body warm-up. So you can be doing this before you run, before you lift, before you squat, anything that you're going to be doing with your lower body. We're going to go through some mobility first to loosen up the glutes, then do a nice little stretch to really focus on range of motion, and then use the mini band to activate our glutes. We spend a lot of time sitting throughout the day with our glutes turned off, so we're going to turn those things on so you can run a little bit faster, squat a little bit deeper, and lift some heavier weight. So we're going to start today by opening up our piriformis. So you can use either the lacrosse ball or the hypersphere to dig into that soft tissue. So our piriformis is that area right on the outside of our glute. We're going to start with our right leg first. So I want you to bring your right foot up and over your left and put that ball right into your right hip. So we're going to start by taking big circles to swoop around the area. And you're looking for about a quarter-sized spot that's going to light up like a firework right when you get into it. Right when you find that spot, I want you to take a few deep breaths into that area. So we're in a search and destroy mission here, really trying to dig into that tissue and then taking some exhales every single time you get down. Inhale. Exhale it out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Trying to find good posture in your upper body. You can roll out your foot too, and you can roll just a little bit left and right. After you spend about 3 to 4 breaths on a specific area, search, find another spot, maybe a little bit higher up towards the lower back, and you're going to dig right into that spot. We're going to spend 2 minutes on each hip to really open up that soft tissue. I recommend 30 seconds to 2 minutes on a spot whenever you're doing any soft tissue work to really create some change in the fascia, in the ligaments, in the muscles, and in the tendons around the joint. So the reason we're starting with this one is it's a really, really tight spot on most people. And so we want to find those areas that are tight and dig right in. I'm feeling some tight ones right now. So it's really, really awesome to open that stuff up. So we mobilize first to make sure that the range of motion is there. Then we stretch dynamically to get some blood flow to the area. And then we'll activate with the mini bands to turn on those muscles so you have a really good workout. 2 more breaths here. Big breath into that knot. Big breath out. Inhale deep. Exhale it out. And we'll roll over to that other side. So same thing on the left side. You're going to find that stretch first by bringing your left foot up and over the right knee, taking that ball, putting it right into that quarter-sized spot that's really tight. My left side today is a little bit tighter than my right. It's completely normal for one side to be tighter than the other. So if that's what you're feeling right now, that's perfectly fine. Just spend a little bit more time on that whenever you're doing your daily mobility stuff. You can do this right when you wake up in the morning, right before you go to sleep, but I really recommend this exact series right before a workout because we're going to open up the tissue, activate it, and really get it nice and lengthened out so that you get the most out of the workout. So again, we're searching for that spot and just breathing into it. Less time rolling around, more time creating pressure between your soft tissue tool, whether it's your lacrosse ball or your hypersphere, and just digging into that spot. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 more minute or so on this spot. Again, you search for another spot after you've taken about 3 to 4 breaths on that. Breathing through the belly and not through the chest. We have a tendency with our human nature for fight or flight. So if you run your hand under really hot water, you're going to try to immediately remove it. So when we add pain or when we add pressure to our piriformis here, that's just like that. It feels like that amount of pain. You want to just make sure that you breathe into it and you're receptive to the change. Inhaling, exhaling. The tissue starts to layer up over time when it's turned off, when it's not active. And so this literally flattens out your tissue so it's more pliable, it can move easier, and you can move just a lot better. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale it out. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. release yourself off of that torture device. And now we're going to move into our stretch. And so for the stretch, we're going to do what's called a 3D hip clock. You're going to be opening up your hips in 3 different planes of motion. So if your workout's going to consist of lunges, of side-to-side movements, of running forward, of anything laterally, this is a great stretch to open up all those different lines. So we're going to start with our right foot. So I want your left knee down on the mat, right foot forward. You can place your hands on top of your knee, and it's okay when we're in this position because there's no load on our back for the knee to travel over the toe. It's a common misconception that the knee can never go over the toe, but if there's no load on your back, it's perfectly healthy and perfectly fine. So we're going to go through this pattern 3 times on each side. You're going to lunge forward, feeling a big stretch in your right glute and a big stretch in your left hip flexor. Come back, go to a 45-degree angle, making sure that that knee tracks directly over the toe. Here you're feeling that stretch to the inside of the thigh and still through that hip flexor on the left side. And then you're going to bring it out as far as you can to that right side and dig into that spot as well. So we're going through that 3 times on each side, going forward, getting to that 45-degree. Making sure knee goes over toe, staying up nice and tall, and as wide as you can. If you can't get to the 90-degree angle, just go out as far as you can, making sure that the knee is wide. It never caves in. You want to open it up. We'll go through one more time on this side. Sinking low, notice that the knee is over the toe. It's perfectly normal if you have that range of motion. Nice and wide here, staying up tall through the core. And then a nice 90-degree angle. Feels really good to stretch that out. We're going to move over to that left side next. So right knee is down, nice tall posture. Core is engaged, shoulders peeled back. And we're leaning forward into the left. Right forward. 45-degree. 90-degree. If your knee is sore or tired or stiff, you can roll your mat over as well to create a little bit support over that. Nice long stride. Perfectly fine, again, for that knee to go over. If that ankle is really mobile, you can sink even deeper into that. We'll go one more time here. Staying nice and tall up top. Notice that the lean comes from the hip. I'm not arching forward or leaning back. Nice and controlled through the top. 45-degree, really good stretch for the inside of the thigh. And then lastly, we're going to open up through that 90-degree. Next, we're going to use our mini band to activate our glutes. So we're going to stand up, and we're going to place this mini band right around our knees. So you're going to go just a little bit above the knee. So I want you to just put both feet right into that band. It might roll up on you a little bit. That's perfectly fine. I try my best to keep it looking good, but as long as it's right above your knees. So the reason we don't want to put it on the knees is that's going to create that internal force. We want it right above. And we're going to just do a few different movement patterns to activate our glutes. So when we squat, we want our knees to travel wide. When we were doing that 3D lunge, I kept saying keep the knee wide. You don't want it to cave in. This is going to try to draw your knees in. So we're going to make sure that we keep the knees wide, turn on the glutes so that your squat's better, your lunge is better, and your deadlift is better. So we're going to start with basic 5 squats, just getting low down and coming up. Notice that the tension on the band stays consistent. My knees don't cave in at the top or at the bottom, and they trace right over my toes. 2 more squats down and up, and on that 5th one, we're going to stay down at 90 degrees. When we stay down at 90, we're going to go 5 times, rotating knees out, rotating them back in. Don't let your feet come up off the floor. Just focus on knees out and knees in. You're going to start to feel those glutes really fire. Mine are turning on pretty hard right now. Good. 2 more here. Good. Stand up, shake it out. So you're going to start to feel the glutes. We're going to just do a few side steps. So what I want you to do is just get back into that squat. We're going to go 5 with the left, 5 with the right. You're going to get nice and low. You're going to keep the tension on the band. Nice little step out to the left, back to 90. 2, 3, 4, 5. Big thing here. Don't let the knees come all the way together because then you lose that activity in the glute. So make sure that your feet always have about 1 foot distance in between them. We're going to do the same thing on the right and then 1 more before we kick it off. Keeping it nice and back and down, out right, together. 2, together, keeping that space between the knees. 4, and 5. Good, stand up, shake it out. We'll do 1 more quick release. This one's a really good one for turning on the back side of that glute. And so we're going to get right back down to that squat. We're going to stagger the stance. So for this one, we're going to start with our right foot. So that right foot's going to be forward, left foot is going to be back. Find your squat, stagger that stance so that your toe is right in line with your heel. When you get down to this stance, make sure that you are facing forward and that your knees are not caving in. They're nice and wide. When you get down, we're just going 5 times in and out with the back leg. Exhale out. Nice and tall core. And then we'll switch. Same thing with the right leg. So we're staggering that stance so that the right foot is behind the left heel. You sink low to 90, making sure there's no dip in the back or no arch. You're nice and solid through the core. We're going 5 times in and out with the right. Now that those glutes are turned on, you're ready to get some squats and some lunges in. Have an awesome workout.